Hello, everyone. We're just going to give everybody another minute to hop on board before we get started. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I am Brian Pickell, the CEO of KP Interface, where we love to use the power of technology to empower business to grow and succeed even further each and every day. And we're excited today to have you join us for our webinar on AI 102, using AI with intention. This will be a practical guide to how to use AI in a couple of cases. And as you can imagine, AI is at the forefront of almost everybody's minds these days, and it offers a very powerful technology to help us make things in business and life better and easier in various ways. So I'm happy to have my colleague, Blaise Desirati, KPI's AI specialist, lead us in this webinar today. Blaise?
All righty, welcome everybody to AI 102. In our last session, AI 101, we explored what AI is and how it's being used. Today, we're going to move from curiosity to capability. This session is about helping you and your team use AI more intentionally, safely, and productively. So let's look at the agenda for today. We're going to go over smarter prompting, what AI tools actually see, spotting mistakes made with AI, how to avoid hallucinations, best security practices and policies, and we'll end it with a Q&A. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat as we go, but we will be addressing those at the end. So yeah, feel free, guys. Alrighty, so let's talk about prompting. Smarter prompting will always give us smarter results. So prompting is how we communicate with AI, and the way you phrase a prompt directly impacts the quality of the response. So think of it like briefing an intern. The clearer your instructions, the better the result. So there's a basic formula that I use when I'm prompting, and it's 4 key components: the role, task, format, and context. So a good prompt will include those 4. The good news is that prompting is a teachable skill. So when we talk about prompt engineering, it's really just a trial and error process of improving textual prompt inputs to a chatbot. So what does make a good prompt? We need instruction, some context about the challenge at hand, the role or identity that the bot should emulate, output formatting, tone information, examples perhaps of writing style. Just know that the more detail for each that you provide, the better the result will be. You'll see at the bottom, I listed system prompt. So a system prompt is a special instruction that is baked into your AI conversation. It can set the behavior, tone, knowledge boundaries, and the role. You can give it a role definition like saying, "You're my helpful assistant." And the good news with this is that it's influential in the entire chat session. So in this next slide, I'll show you a good look at a system prompt. Okay, so whoever uses ChatGPT in here, you might have seen this before, or it might have gone over your head. This can be found in the settings of any large language model, but in ChatGPT, if you click your name in the bottom left, you can go to this customization. So this is a feature that most people skip, but it's one of the easiest ways to instantly improve your results. So you'll see at the top, I told it my name, and I told it what I hypothetically do for this example. I'm going to be saying that I'm a marketing manager for a nonprofit organization. It asked me what traits ChatGPT should have. So I told it to be creative, strategic, a clear communicator, and to be brand aware. And then look at the bottom, you'll see anything else ChatGPT should know about you. I told it I create campaigns, write newsletters, and I manage social media. I prefer concise writing with a friendly tone. Help me stick to our brand voice and always ask if I want visuals included. So you're literally telling ChatGPT how to think, what matters to you, and how to communicate. And that really does matter. Okay, iterative prompting in action. Iterative prompting is the action of refining your prompt to improve the results. So what we're going to do is start with a rough prompt, review and refine it, ask follow-up questions to improve the results. So most people give up after the first prompt, but with AI, iteration is key. So try it, review what you got, and give it feedback. Ask for clarification, reformatting, or improvements. The second or third draft is often the best. So whenever you can, just try and go deeper. So now I'll give you a demo showing this. All right, so I recorded this earlier. I'm going to start with a basic prompt. I'm going to say, write an email to employees about our company starting to use AI. Now let's see the output that we get. So this really doesn't look too bad off first glance. It's hitting our goal saying we will implement AI. It's a pretty general email though, but we need this to be more specific to our audience because right now this looks like it can be sent to anybody. And this kind of just looks like a classic ad to use AI. It's a bit vague because it's missing key context. So notice it's like this because ChatGPT is doing exactly what we told it to do. It's not going above and beyond because we didn't instruct it to. So in this next prompt, I'm refining it just a little bit. So I'm saying, write an internal email from the CEO announcing our new AI adoption strategy. The message should explain the benefits of AI, reassure employees, and include a few next steps. Let's see the output we get from this. Okay, so this email is already more specific to our audience. It's adding the next step, and it's doing more of what we asked. We gave it our role and more context. However, I still wouldn't just copy this into an email without making some tweaks. It still lacks personalization, a strong tone, or business vision alignment. So let's give it even more context, detail our task, and establish a formatting rule with the next prompt. Okay. So for this one, I'm going to say, act as a CEO drafting a message to all staff announcing a company-wide AI adoption strategy. The message should communicate the company's vision for AI, address common employee concerns like job impact, and outline next steps. Use a confident, inspiring tone aligned with business goals like innovation, efficiency, and remaining competitive in our industry. Format as an internal email with a short, compelling subject line and clear structure. So you'll notice that I've given it context, format, the task, and a role. So let's see how that shapes the output that we get. Okay, so this one already looks much better and wouldn't need a whole lot of editing at all. So here's where it all comes together. We've started with a generic prompt and then we refined it, but it's in this third iteration where we really engineered the outcome so it has a better tone and relevant content. This version just feels more human and dramatically more useful than prompt one. Still, no matter what, we should double check everything that we get but this shows the power of refining your prompts. So yeah, that really just shows how important it is just to reiterate all the things that you're putting into any AI that you're using. So now what about when AI doesn't behave how we want it to? Let's take a look. So spotting and breaking hallucinations. What are hallucinations? Hallucinations happen when AI generates information that sounds confident but is factually incorrect. misleading, or completely made up. So look at the example on the right. AI is convincingly telling us that there was only one survivor of the Titanic when that's not true. So why does it happen? AI doesn't know things, it predicts the next word based on patterns and training data. So this leads to errors when context is vague or incomplete. AI is designed to sound natural and confident even when it's wrong, so it doesn't admit uncertainty unless it's prompted to. But if you're in the middle of a hallucination, how do you break the AI out of it? Best way is to ask follow-up questions, tell it to check its work, have it critique its own answer, and have it explain its reasoning step by step. You can also use prompts that force verification to prevent it from happening in the first place. So let's take a look in the next slide. This is what I call a guardrail prompt, and this is going to help you prevent it in the first place. So if you feed this instruction into your chatbot, it'll help you out. So what I listed here is never present generated, inferred, speculated, or deduced content as fact. Always state when you cannot verify information, label unverified content, and never guess or fill any gaps. If any part is unverified, label the entire response. Do not paraphrase or reinterpret unless requested. Focus responses on what can be confirmed based on my input. So why does this prompt work? This style of prompt puts clear boundaries in place. You're telling the AI up front, don't make things up, don't guess, flag anything that isn't certain. That simple instruction can dramatically change the tone and accuracy of responses. So AI will still make mistakes, but prompts like this make it much easier to catch errors early, especially in business tasks like reports, summaries, or client communications. Okay, so what can AI actually see? It's a common misconception that AI can see everything on your computer, but it's really not the case. Um, AI tools can only access the info that you provide or the files and chats you're actively working with. This makes AI safer to use than many people assume. On the other hand, it also means we need to be intentional with it. Always provide just enough context for useful answers without oversharing sensitive or confidential information. The reason I personally endorse Copilot is because it allows you to confidently ground the AI within your business's data securely and under your existing access controls. Okay, so let's talk about AI security and responsible use. The myth here is that AI is a risk by default. The reality is that it follows your access rules and your permissions. So we just talked about what AI can see and how it's limited by the data you give it. So that's why AI is not automatically a security risk. The real issue is how it's introduced and used inside of the business. Intentional use reduces risk, but sloppy use will increase it. So three practical risks that every organization needs to manage is shadow IT, when employees start using unapproved AI tools without oversight, oversharing through prompts. So even safe tools can cause risk if users copy insensitive data unnecessarily. Then lack of oversight, when there's no policy, no guidance, and no way to monitor how AI is being used. So how to stay in control isn't complicated. Use grounded AI that respects your company's access structure. Establish an AI acceptable use policy to set clear expectations, and train employees on the safest way to use AI, including how to avoid oversharing and how to spot bad output. Next, I'll show you what you need for an AI use policy. Okay, so an AI use policy doesn't need to be a 10-page legal doc. Even a one-pager helps clarify what tools are okay to use, what data is off limits, and how to ask questions when you're unsure. What you need to cover is the purpose, technologies that are approved, have a point person in place for everybody else to go to, permitted users, approved use cases, alternate use permissions, usage guidelines, and make sure that you cover legal and ethical compliance as well as employee training and compliance. You can really get into the weeds with this. There's a whole lot more you can add to this, but I listed these because I believe they're the most important to have on there. But trust me, this is a lot, but we're here to help. So comment in the chat right now if you'd like me to share a template with you after the session, or just get in touch with me after the webinar, and I'd be really happy to help you guys out implementing this use policy. All right, so looking ahead to AI 103, today was about intentional usage, but in AI 103, we're going to shift to building, showing you how to create your own prompt library, the best use cases for your business, and do a deep dive into AI agents. Marissa, I'd be happy to share a template after this. Okay. Alrighty, so it's time for the Q&A. So if you guys have any questions, just comment them right now. I'd be happy to answer anything you guys have. So let's see. Karen said, does Copilot have the setting like ChatGPT? Yes, it does. Karen, I'd be happy to get in touch with you after this webinar, and I'd be happy to go over that with you. Show you how to, I believe you're talking about the system prompt. So yeah, I'd be happy to go over that with you. Okay, we've got a lot of people who want the template. Should we always use guardrails with all prompts? Um, it's up to you. I personally use it all the time. It's not always something that you can just set it and forget it. So whenever I start a new conversation in ChatGPT or any other AI bot, for example, I'll just paste in that guardrail prompt that I have just to make sure that it's consistent. Sometimes it can get lost in the weeds there, and I'll notice I'm not exactly getting the output that I want from that guardrail prompt. So I would say as a general rule of thumb, just keep that in a Word doc somewhere and then paste that into any new conversation you start with AI. Okay, got a lot of people who want the template, so I'll be sure to reach out to all you guys.
Please, it looked like Melissa Evans asked if you could share more examples about prompting. And I don't know if that's something you can do here or if you can, we could send something out following this, maybe with a few more examples we can post somewhere
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, Melissa, I'd be more than happy to send you some examples right after this webinar. I can give you a whole cheat sheet to work with. So yeah, I'd be happy to. Can you please share the guardrail prompts? Okay, conference room. I can just go ahead and paste that in for you guys right now. Actually, I will send that to you guys all. I'll add everyone into this afterwards. I can send out the cheat sheet on prompting, and I can send that guardrail prompt in.
Blaze, Zach McCook had a question here. What are tactics to prevent users from uploading sensitive information beyond a policy? So are there ways to control what users are sharing within various AI platforms?
Yeah, so it's different for each platform that you're using. I know with Copilot, I'm the admin for Copilot here. So I do have general oversight over everything that's going in. And that is where you kind of get into the weeds of things more, where if you're weighing the risks of certain AI tools, some have more and less availability of how much oversight you have with them. So it's really worth doing a deep dive into how much you can monitor your own organization's input into all these AI tools. So Zach, I'd be happy to talk with you after this so we can really get into it more. But again, that's another reason why I endorse Copilot so much from an organizational level, because you can set up a few admins who really just can oversee everything that's going into it, and less even not just the inputs that are going in, but you can see who's using it, how much they're using it, who's not using it at all. So if you check out the Copilot dashboard, you really get a lot of great analytics into all the AI use in your organization.
Yeah, perhaps that's something we can cover, Blaze, in another webinar, is
Yeah.
either going through different platforms and what abilities they have, what features they have in terms of being able to restrict users and how they're using that,
Yeah.
or if we're getting into a specific platform such as Copilot and explaining all the various features their organizations would have to help restrict or control what kind of data is being shared on that platform.
Yeah. So we'll
So
definitely cover that in AI 103. That's a great idea. So yeah, we'll address it then as well.
John Ettinger here said, I struggle sometimes with giving chat data that I feel would be confidential or my competitors would not want to see. But then I think maybe it already knows more than I think it does about my company, and just off the deep end, instead of dipping toes, would love a template. So thank you.
Okay. Nice to see you, John. I'll definitely share the template. So you're worried it might already know some things, but I would say, if there's people in your organization that are already sharing, and it might know some things already, it's never too late to stop the bleeding with any PII that's going in there. So if there's things that you don't want going in there, I would just put a plug on it right away and just stop already. So yeah, but I would definitely be happy to share the template with you after this as well.
Um, I think we've addressed all the questions for now. Unless anybody else has any others, feel free to post it. But I have a question for all of our people in the audience today, and that is, besides what Blaise talked about today, besides template, there's questions in the Q&A. Oh, okay. So Lauren, I don't know if you want to share them. The Q&A, I see. Let me move over to that, Lauren. Okay.
Okay, I'm seeing these now. Ryan, is giving your company name, etc. okay, or should you get general prompts in AI, copy it into what you want, and change the company name? Um, I don't think it's the end of the world if it knows the company name, but at the end of the day, I don't think you really have anything to gain by uploading it into there. So whenever you're getting that output from any AI that you're using and it does have those brackets with company name, I would just keep it general and then do some editing on your own, put it into a Word doc, and then input all your own personal details into it from there. Another one from Ryan, when using AI to help with a solution. When using AI to help find a solution to fix a communication error between two programs and it gives a wrong answer, how do you find the right answer? Say changing a specific setting when you don't know it yourself. Or does AI not help with problem solving when you don't know the answer yourself? Oh, AI definitely helps with problem solving. And that just is a good callback to the iterative prompting. If you don't get the answer that you want or you didn't do the specific setting right, as long as you're not putting any personal info in, you can just grab a screenshot of it and then put it into ChatGPT and say, hey, this isn't what we wanted. What else could the solution be? So again, just keep iterating with your prompts, and then it's just a trial and error process. So just keep playing around with it and eventually you'll get there. So yeah, thanks for asking. Other than that, let's see. Frank DeSantis, yes, we'd be happy to send you a link to the recording.
Okay, so what I was going to ask, what I was saying before, Blaise, is to see if anybody on the webinar today has anything specific that you would like us to cover in future webinars as well. So if there is an aspect of AI that you're looking at to help your business or to solve a problem within your business organization, please let us know, because the more we hear back from people we're speaking with about the true business challenges, true real life challenges that you might have, we'd be happy to design our content around those concerns. So Aaron Rooney here, Blaise, has a question about, once you enter something into an AI program like ChatGPT, does it live there forever, or can you make it forget what you put in somehow?
Yeah, so if you're in your ChatGPT page, you'll see the whole conversation history on the left. You can delete those conversations, everyone that's archived, and it will forget in the context of your conversation with it. So it might not be able to call back to anything you referred, but ChatGPT is constantly training on what's going into it. So with you and your personal bot, it's going to forget that, but it's still training ChatGPT and OpenAI in general with what you're putting in. So if you're wondering if you can make a call back for something that you might have forgotten, you're not going to have any luck getting it back, but it is still being used to train the AI. So I hope that question.
John Edinger has a similar comment. How secure is the data we share with AI?
Um, there's really no way to know how secure it is. Again, anything that you're putting out there is training any AI that you're using. So if you're putting something into ChatGPT, it's living on OpenAI servers. They're training with it. So again, this is another reason why I trust Copilot so much. They made a huge emphasis when creating it to protect all your enterprise data. So anything that you put in there is living within your own 365 tenant already. So when people are coming to me for security with AI, I'm generally going to recommend that they would use Copilot for that. So thanks
Uh,
for asking, Joe.
Rosalind Edwards here mentioned as an idea for a future webinars to talk about the top five AI resource apps. So obviously resource apps that are based on AI that people can practically use going
Great.
forward. Idea. Certainly we'll do something like that. I don't know if it'll be AI 103 or AI 104, but it'll certainly be in the future, Rosalind. Thank you for that idea.
Perfect. And Ryan, I see you just asked, is Copilot better than ChatGPT? Can it do all the same things? Um, it depends on who you ask. They have different strengths in different areas. You know, if you've been using ChatGPT the last few years and that's all you know, there might be some growing pains if you try and transition to Copilot. What I love about it, obviously being a security professional myself, is the security, but I've talked about that already. What's great about it is it's already living inside all of the apps that I'm using when I'm working already. So if I need to do anything in Excel, I already have Copilot right there for me. Having it in Outlook is great. So there is differences to them. It depends who you ask. I use certain ones for different things. So it really depends on your own personal preferences. But I would say it's worth exploring both of them. If you haven't used Copilot, it's worth exploring. So
One thing, if I could speak to that, Blaze, a little bit. If I were to go back 3, 4 months ago and compare the two, I certainly would have given an edge to ChatGPT at that time. However, I've done tests in the last couple of weeks of putting the same prompts into both ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot, and I've actually found out Copilot to come ahead with certain things I'm putting in there. So the other thing I like about Copilot is when I have it on my screen, I have a choice between two tabs. One is work, one is web. So if I wanted to be out there looking at the web for information, I can put a prompt out there that does that. If I only want to be looking at my work environment and its ability to see what's in my work environment, I have that ability as well. So it can get a little bit more granular and specific to what it already knows about me and my work here at KPI, which is pretty cool. But again, the technology, guys, is changing so fast that things can get better. What your bias may have been 2 months ago could be totally changed today. Our job at KPI, though, is to try to keep you guys informed, not only today, but ongoing with these kind of webinars. Keep you informed as to what's going on in the AI marketplace, what kind of technologies are out there for you guys to be able to use for yourselves and for your business. Blaze, another question we had here is ChatGPT for business worth the investment for securing confidential information?
if you were going to say, is ChatGPT for business worth the investment? I would say, yeah, but for securing confidential information, I think just at the end of the day, it's not going to be as private or as secure as we think. So I don't think it would get the stamp of approval from me for that. But it's worth exploring more and doing some research on it and seeing if it is for your particular organization. Jenny, if someone knows I'm using AI, can they ask the AI to tell them everything I've said if they mention me by name, location, etc., so they can identify who I am? I'm gonna say no. Um, yeah, I really find that hard to believe that anyone would be able to pull that up. So I think you're good in that regard. But thank you for asking. Um, last call for questions from anybody? Is there anything we get with a 365 towards Copilot versus spending monthly with chat? Um, so I think are you weighing out the differences between Copilot Chat, the free version, and when you get the actual Copilot license? Yeah. So the free version of Copilot is referred to as Copilot Chat, and that's where you just kind of talk to it like a chatbot, like you would ChatGPT or Gemini. But when you get the license, it opens up a whole new world of opportunities, really. You get all the benefits of using Microsoft Teams with Copilot. It's recording and transcribing every single meeting. You're able to make Copilot agents, and having the license is when it really gets integrated with all the apps that you're using. So it is $30 a month, but if you ask me, I think it's worth its weight in gold by having that license because it's integrated with everything, all your data secure, and there's just so much more beneath the hood when you get that license. So yeah, thanks for asking.
All right.
Yes, it is something KPI offers. The process for license, MJ. Um, well, if you are one of our clients, you could just reach out to us and then we can help you get situated with that. Yeah, so it's $30 a month per user. So if you want any more additional info on Copilot, just reach out to me after this. I'd be more than happy to uh, take you through any questions you have regarding that.
All right. Blaze, do you want to go through the AI readiness assessment? Do you want me to do that?
I'll go through it. Yeah, so for anybody interested, we offer the AI readiness assessment. It's going to be about 30 questions. I'm going to send you a survey, and you're really going to be able to see where your organization is today with AI. We'll review your business needs and how you guys can benefit from using AI and determine the best next steps, come up with a roadmap, and develop a strategy with goals, policy, and implementation of just AI in general. So this is limited availability. We're almost full for August, so reach out to us today. But if not, we'll be happy to push things into September and help anybody out who needs some help with AI. So yeah, reach out for the readiness assessment.
And the way to reach out to us, guys, is to simply email us at info@kpinterface.com. So again, we are going to send out the template and the guardrail prompts, etc., which Blaze spoke about today. But if you would like to engage us for any questions around licensing or about developing an AI use policy, or about conducting a AI readiness assessment for you and your organization, please reach out to us today at info@kpinterface.com. We'll have a brief discussion with you after that and then get you situated from there. So, all right.
Alrighty, thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for joining us again on this second edition of AI education for business. We hope you'll join us next time. And again, if you have any further ideas, please feel free to reach out. We look forward to traveling this journey with AI to help improve our businesses with you and to be a guide for you when we can be. So thanks again to Blaze for sharing his wisdom today with AI, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.